Hi, my name is Brian Norton with the INDATA Project at Easterseals Crossroads, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Taptillo, which is a great way to learn Braille. So let's go ahead and take a look.
Hi, my name is Blake Allee. I'm the Demo and Loan Specialist with the INDATA Project at Easterseals Crossroads, and today we'll be looking at the Taptillo, a device that teaches you how to learn Braille. The Taptillo has a refreshable Braille display on the bottom row, as well as removable Braille blocks on the top row that can be used to represent a letter, word, number, and so on. The power button is located on the right-hand side, so I'll go ahead and turn that on now. It also has a volume button on the back, as well as a headphone jack on the left-hand side.
To start, press the circle button or connect with the Taptilo application.
So we'll start that by pressing the circle button.
Learn Braille with Taptilo. You are using uncontracted Braille. Alphabet.
So it's currently using uncontracted Braille,
Trace and write.
and you can change that if you want by pressing these two triangle buttons at the same time.
Switching to contracted Braille. A.
But we're going to stick with uncontracted Braille for now.
Switching to uncontracted Braille. A.
And it has two different modes, self-study mode, which allows you to learn how to read Braille, and you do that on the Taptillo standalone. It also has a teaching mode, which is where you would connect to the app. It has an app for a phone, so you would connect the Taptillo via Bluetooth and use your smartphone. But for now, we're just going to stick with the self-study mode. If you want to enter the program menu, you'll press the circle button and the left triangle arrow at the same time for 2 seconds and hold those down.
Program menu. You can move to the new lesson in Program menu. Use the arrow buttons to scroll through the list and select using the circle button. To go back to the previous list, press the circle button for 2 seconds.
In here you can go through
Alphabet.
different options like the alphabet, words, numbers, and you can increase the difficult level of what you want to do. So for now we're just going to stick with alphabet. So when you want to make a selection, you press the circle button.
Select an activity. Trace and write.
And there's 3 different activities you can select from. There's trace and write, which is going to be where you can trace your finger on the bottom to fill what the letter is, and then you make that letter up here on the blocks up here.
Listen and write.
Listen and write. Nothing shows up on the bottom Braille display, and you just make the letter or word up here.
Read.
And read, you don't use the top at all. You just learn to read the different Braille letters, numbers, alphabet.
Trace and write.
We're going to stick with trace and write for now.
Go into your new lesson. Learn Braille with Taptilo. You are using uncontracted Braille. Alphabet. Trace and write. A.
So it's asking us for the letter A. So for this, you can fill here on the bottom to fill what an A feels like, and then you can take these removable Braille displays and make an A. Put it back, and when you're done, you press the circle button, and Taptillo will let you know if you got your answer correct or incorrect.
Great. B.
And then it will just move on to the next letter or word or whatever setting you have it from there. One other thing is if you'd like to enter the program settings, you can do that by pressing all 3 buttons at the same time.
Program settings. You can change the device settings. You can move between the items by pressing the left and right buttons, and you can enter the settings by pressing the circle button.
And here you can
Shuffle list.
here you just change a couple different things if you're interested, like the language. It can tell you the serial number, and it has different ways of listening to instructions. And that's a quick rundown of the features on the Taptillo.
Well, that's your tech tip for today. I want to say thank you to the Indiana Telephone Relay Access Corporation for sponsoring our captions today. My name is Brian Norton with the INDATA Project at Easterseals Crossroads in Indiana.